Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are located on our beautiful planet. We certainly want to welcome you to this third week session on the Success Formula 101 training program. And if you recall, back in fact, the first week we talked about setting goals and kind of setting the foundation of what it is that you want to achieve. And then we went in and we talked about the week number two it's about leadership and influence. You know, as a leader, you can grow your team or you can implode your team depending on how you communicate with them and how you make them feel. And we talked about that. And today we're going to talk about the strategic planning and execution. And every segment of every training that we do, just look for week one, week two, week three, because I know we don't do them in sequence. There might be other trainings and interview we did in between. But when you go to these segments, you will find that in the comment section that we put in access to week one, week two, and this time, obviously, you'll see week three, which will be the training. If you go back to week two, then you'll see week one and so forth. So I do recommend, Tammy and I do recommend that you go back to the previous week so you can hear the basic principles of the success formula on week one, week two, because they all tie in together, right? It's wonderful to go, let's say, on the training on week three, but if you haven't listened to week two and week one, well, it's like you're watching a movie and three-quarter of the movie went on, and now you're trying to catch up on what's going on, but you don't know the characters, you know what's going on, you don't know what the pitch are, you don't know what the foundation, the movie's all about. And, you know, so it's not as pleasant, right? So that's why we do recommend for you to go back and listen to these trainings. So before we begin, folks, just want to start again, acknowledge all of you. Lou, welcome again, first in the morning. Really appreciate you. Let's see, who do we have? Inionam from Ghana. Welcome. Well, Guilhem from Quebec. Great to have you here with us. And let's see, we have here SMBA. Welcome. Great to have you with us. We have Linda. Linda, welcome. We have here Veronique. Great to have you here. We have Chig. Awesome to have you from the UK. Phenomenal. Let's see here. We have Linwood. Great to have you with us. We have Rennie from Cornwall, Ontario. I know there's a Tesla charger there. Sometimes we stop there as we go to it. Okay, David, welcome. Let's see here. We have Tia. We have William. Great to have you here. We have Raymond. We have Ricardo, and we have Marley. And folks, again, as you come in, just mention where you are from, and also when you do hear something that Tammy and I share that you feel is making an impact, or you want to comment on, please do so. And as I see that you posting comments that are relevant and a topic that we're talking about, then of course I will try to pick up on it and display it for everyone to see. So Tammy, why don't we start with the strategic thinking process? You go ahead.
Absolutely. It's all about understanding the big picture, you guys. That's the most important thing. We all have seen the graph going up the ranks from bronze to black diamond. And the vision is always the big picture on where you see yourself in a year from now, in 2 years from now, in 5 years from now. Whatever your plan is the right plan for you. Don't pick something because somebody else is picking it. This is really, really important. See, when we got started in the industry, we may not have seen ourselves at top levels, but we've done it many times. So, and we've helped many people do it over many years. So for us, when we looked at it, it was a no-brainer. It's black diamond. And to do that, we need to have a strong vision. We need to have focus. We need to have commitment. But that vision is what is going to drive you to do the actions that's necessary to build it, which is the fundamentals, you guys. Fundamentals is what helps everybody go up the ranks. Our goal is not just to help people get copper. You know, the goal is the benchmarks, right? Oh, good. Chris is joining it. So the goal is, the actions are the benchmarks. The vision is where you see yourself in whatever time period you put that. And it's the actionable steps of those benchmarks every single day that's going to get you to grow the ranks. And as you've seen, and it's not to toot anybody's horns, you've seen triple diamonds in this new plan. You've seen double diamonds in this new plan. You've seen diamonds. You've seen people that evolved in their rank just from the new compensation plan. Why is that? It's because they did the right things from the beginning. One left, one right. Bring another one left, bring another one right. And then you build that out based on how the organization is growing. Okay, so that's why you're seeing this happening. And these are the ones that are out there making things happen. These are the ones that are planning events. These are the ones that are showing up, and they're working really, really hard with their teams. So if you want to grow in our profession, you need to have that big vision. And then you work the fundamentals and help your team grow. Is everybody going to grow? No, not everybody's going to grow. Some people have life. Sorry, we were out last night in a band, and we were singing and dancing, so my voice is a little bit cracky today. But you know, gotta help the people that want to grow. And I always said, don't drag people across the finish line. If they don't have vision, they don't want to do the steps. They don't want to, leave them alone. Love them where they're at. Some people just want to use the product, which is great, right? It's just another body in the organization, and they're going to show up to the training. Some people just like to be part of community. Everybody comes in for their own reason. And I wanted to get really clear on this, because you need to have big vision to go up. And I have to tell you that Chris and I started in May. Sorry, Chris, I'm kind of taking over.
No, you're fine. You're totally fine. You
Started
carry
in
on.
May. We had Black Diamond vision, and we have not stopped for a year. We're just starting to go out and having a little bit of fun in our life, because we put a year of focus into this, of helping people evolve. Now we're going to have a little bit of fun and, of course, drive it to the next level. So if you want to succeed, you got to focus. You got to put efforts into this.
I totally agree. And folks, you're probably going to hear Tammy and I often talk about some of our competitors like Dropbox. Why do we use that? Why do we talk about this? Is because it illustrates the big picture. Here's a company that took them 7 years to get into momentum. Now they have 800 million users. 7 years. And got back up. We're passing a year. We're a year and a half or so now. And we're already starting to make quite a bit of noise. And again, I respect Dropbox. I've been using them for decades. But the fact is, you want to help your team understanding the potential, because often they get involved in God Backup and a beautiful project, and they don't see past the limitation from their understanding of what they think they're looking at. This is why what we're talking about is so important. Just think about it. We already have some diamond and above with a compensation plan that's been modified a month ago by following the basic principles of building coppers. That means one on the left, one on the right. And if you recall, from day one, when we started presenting, if you go back to original presentation Tammy and I did, we always talked about one on the left, one on the right, one on the left, one on the right. But at the time, we didn't really plan the copper thing, right? Copper, you had to make $200 and $250 to get there. So now we started strategizing, okay, what is the step that everyone can achieve? And from that point on, you start earning cycles. Now, why am I sharing all of this? Well, we have over 60,000 members right now. And I'm telling you, folks, when you get momentum, you will know diamonds are going to pop like popcorn. I am not kidding. What's going to happen here is, imagine 800 million, 60,000. So what's going to happen once we hit 100,000, 200,000? And understand that some people must say, well, can God back up support? Well, right now we have the infrastructure to support over 3 million users. The moment we have 100,000 or a quarter of a million users, you realize that there's going to be some very wealthy people that are building their God backup business. And it's just still in the infancy of growth. Do you see the big picture here? This is what I'm talking about. So when you build your business, are you focusing on the little tiny things? Or are you focusing on the big picture of what this can become? And understand something important. 75% from the profit revenue are shared into the compensation plan. So what's going to happen is these amounts that we're earning in our commission will exponentially grow as the company's revenue grow. We're all connected. That's how you share the big picture so people can see that. Not everybody's going to choose to follow it. Not everybody's going to see it. But if you share it to as many people as you want, I'm telling you, some will, and some will be chasing you to want to learn how this works. So let's move on to the second portion of strategic thinking, is what we call the SWOT analysis. What is the SWOT analysis here? I'm just going to cut and paste this just portion here. I'm going to put it into the comment section here. Okay, you can follow with me here. So this is your strength, your weaknesses, the opportunities, and the threats. And it's all part of your surrounding. So, for example, what are the strengths, right? What is the system that you have to grow your business? These are part of your strength. What are the? We have a great system. It's called the 4 benchmark. Sponsor, copper, copper, copper. One on the left, on the right. Repeat the same thing again. Then help these people become copper. You will reach to 25, right? And then from that point on, go get 10 people. Now you have the foundation to reach all the high pin levels where you can reach all these bonuses. So again, are you duplicating? So this is the strength. The other thing is, what are your weaknesses? Right? For example, if you're upset for whatever situation, maybe are you lashing out in front of your entire team? Or are you just kind of like Tammy and I were said in the past, if you're not happy about something, bite your lips till it bleeds. And hold on and calm down before you start lashing out to your business, because what's going on is you're creating a cancer that will literally vanish and destroy and implode your business. Some folks don't get that, and that's totally fine. We understand that. We're here to guide you, to give you these signs for you to be aware of that maybe you can work on to evolve so your team can grow. Very important. Maybe it's the lack of support. Maybe you sign people up and you just disappear and you let people fend for themselves. That's why we have this Telegram group, and we do try to attend to everybody, but understand that it's important in this community that people participate, because this is not one team. This is the company. So everybody comes in from everywhere in this group that belongs in all different organizations, but we try to create a place of support. And that's why I really appreciate many of you that are constantly catching on in some of those things. And sometimes we'll have some negative feedback in there because some folks don't know anything yet and they're nervous. They want to succeed. They panic a little bit and they lash out in there. And it happens. And from there, we try to help the team because there's new people in there. And, the negativity is very attractive. So again, what are the weaknesses? Are you breaking the cycle duplication by doing your own little thing? You break apart from the momentum, the big wave, and you try to do your own little thing because of ego. Again, these are all things that will sabotage your growth, that will sabotage your business. And the other point is the opportunity, right? What are the assets that we have here? Well, one is we have scheduled presentations. We have them all week. Follow your leadership. Follow the guideline of your leadership. And Tammy, feel free to post if there's wonderful comments. I'm not seeing them because I'm watching the camera here. But what's happening here is, are you taking advantage of these presentations? Are you putting people in front of you in presentation? If you can attend a presentation, folks, that's not an excuse. Everything's recorded, especially if it's broadcasted on the YouTube channel of God Backup. Just take the link and share it. Hey, by the way, John, Mary, this is the presentation that just occurred on Friday or Saturday or Wednesday or Thursday or Monday or Sunday, whatever. And then from there, I'd love to check this out. Let's talk after you've seen this, right? So don't use the excuse that I was not available, because everything is available. It's entirely up to you. So are you following the schedule? Are you following the training schedule? Some of us have done very well in this business. We acquired some a great lifestyle building this business. It could serve you well to come and listen to what some of those people are doing. That's why these trainings are important. What tools are available to you? Are you utilizing the tools? What I love about the God backup infrastructure is it's more than just a God backup system, folks. It has a complete email marketing system behind this. And if you do have the VIP package, which I recommend it, you don't have to get it to build your business. You don't have to get it to be successful, folks. You just need to bring people on board. These are tools that will help you expand your reach. That's what it is. The reason why I love the VDuber is because if I use a YouTube channel or my YouTube account, the problem is if I send a video, I know that YouTube will promote all sort of other things, and sometimes it rubs people the wrong way. But in VDuber, I can just send a link, and that's all they're going to see. It is isolated, and this link could be in an email. I can even put an MP4 file. There's another link you can access, and someone can download a video that you would like for them to have access to. You see what I mean? So the strength, the weaknesses, the opportunity, and what are the threats? Well, the threats are the challenges that could negatively, trying to say that 3 times, negatively impact your growth, right? There's the poachers, the people from other deals that come in there and they start poaching. They're all friends, and next thing you know, they have 3 other deals going on at the same time. Listen, I understand that sometimes people have been doing things, and I understand what's going on there, but the fact is, are you doing this professionally, or are you just poaching, right? Stealing people's leads and try to bring them elsewhere. These are things that people don't forget, right? So, and there's little dragons, right? People that come in and they create negativity and they gossip and they you know what I'm talking about, right? So what you can't do anything about that. But if you want to grow an organization, you don't want to feed that wolf. If you understand my meaning, this expression where there's a wolf that's kind and the other wolf is aggressive. Which one would win in a battle? Well, the one you feed. That was a great line. So in other words, what you focus your attention on is what you will be receiving as a result. So again, these are very important. So the fact here is gossiping, and don't participate in these things. You don't have time to waste with this stuff. This does not bring any value, any money. It just creates more drama that people have enough right now. I think we got enough of that in the world. So let's focus on the possibilities that God backup brings to our table. It is so massive. It is so unbelievable. I'm so excited for you. Tammy and I are excited. Every day we wake up and we go out there and we start sharing with our teams, and we make sure people understand the big picture, the God backup 2.0. There's so much to offer. So much to offer. So at this point, Tammy, that's the SWOT analysis. And again, if I spoke too fast or maybe you came in after, feel free to go back and listen to this recording and just go back to this segment, because that is a very, very important segment. Some people say, how come you and Tammy, you always succeed? You always make money in this business. You're all about the money. No, we're not. We're doing the right activities. We're duplicating the right activities. Because we know if people make money, they will stay with you for life. If people don't make money, they got to make money. They'll leave. They got somewhere else to make money. So these are the reason why we have success, because we create an ecosystem and environment for people to thrive. And that's what's important. So let's talk about the vision and mission statement. I'll pass it over to you, Tammy.
Yeah, absolutely. And anybody who's been in the industry at all know that there is always a vision statement. And of course, it's always about helping people. Service to many leads to greatness. We all know that. And if we help people grow, go through the 4 benchmarks, grow into that gold, they can duplicate and help others to get there. So it's helping people evolve, earn income, and money's just a tool, you guys. And it's the big picture is always, what do you want your life to look like in the next year, in the next 2 years, 5 years from now? And I like vision boards. Some people are not into vision boards. I like vision boards because when I look at it, it keeps me on track. It's like a map for me to know exactly what I want to accomplish in my fitness, in my nutrition, because that's important to me. Anybody who knows me and follows me on social media knows that's important to me. In business, what's my big vision is always the top, black diamond, always, always, always. And then there's thing goals, and there's family goals, and there's traveling goals, and there's all kinds of things, and that's part of the reward to grow this business. So you got to know the big picture, the vision, and it's always about helping other people evolve in many ways, not just income, in a personal matter, evolve in personal skills. I remember when I came in this industry, like everybody else, have no idea what I'm doing. Uh, I was an entrepreneur. I had a business. I was a manufacturer. I was a designer in stretch clothing, and so I'm used to building a traditional business. And then I come into network marketing, and it's a little bit of a different beast. But I still had the drive to accomplish things. But I remember my first mentor. He said to me, for things to get better, for you need to grow personally. And I remember I knew that I had to work on leadership skills. I had to work on prospecting, inviting, following up, getting people started right. I had to work on these things with the foundation of my organization, which end up exploding into many international markets. But it starts with you, right? It all starts with you. Vision, it's got to be big, and it's got to be about the people, okay? Because when you help people, things in your life grow. And it's about helping yourself grow personally into leadership. So yeah, that's the big thing, Chris, is
Yeah.
inspiring people, not making them feel small. You want to empower, inspire, motivate, and not make people feel like they haven't done enough or they're not good enough. I've seen leadership like this over the years, and they always implode. And we always say time will always promote you or expose you. Please write this one down. Very important. Everybody wants to be promoted as a good person, as a great leader. So do the things that elevate people and be there to guide them. I'm not saying do the business for them. Be there to guide them. They need to know how to get started right, which is the 4 benchmarks. They need to know how to have access to their back office. They need to know the fundamentals. And in the boards, there is a getting started guide on all the things to get people connected, and then you've got the benchmarks, the actions to build this.
And I just want to address, Deborah, I see a question here. When it comes to technical advice, the call, unfortunately, is not designed for that. But here's what I recommend you do. Go back into the Telegram group, ask that question there, and once I see it, I will answer it. But because obviously, Deborah, I will require a complete different segment conversation. This is more of a training on the how-tos dealing with customers and everything else. So I do read the comments, but not all the time as I'm presenting. So there's some great feedback here. I just want, for example, Susie, you talk about, got backup and Dropbox. Listen, my advice, again, I'm going to answer very quickly. If you have Dropbox, here's what I did. I actually synchronized my Dropbox. As one of the files I selected, and I brought it into Got Backup, and I let the system do everything on its own. It's as simple as that. So your Dropbox is synchronized, and even if your files are on the cloud, it will actually bring the files and actually transfer it. And there's other things that is also offered, but again, I can't keep going on this because now I'm getting off topic, but I just wanted to address that briefly. Okay, so let's go back here and shift back to the purpose of this call and this training here today. What we're talking about here is to work your strategy to build your business for you to have success. It's wonderful to have all these people coming in, but if people come in and they don't know what to do, they don't install the software, they don't have the vision, they don't understand what's going on, what's going to happen is you're not going to be able to keep people on board. You're not going to be able to create an empire that's going to create the income that you desire. So that's what the call is all about here today. So the next step we want to talk about is action and planning. So if you recall the very first call here, we talked about setting goals, right? And what's really important is you want to break down those goals into actionable steps. There's years ago, Tammy and I had a training. It was called the Master Strategy of Super Achievers. Really interesting training. And what happened is it was asking you to on a piece of paper to write down all of your goals, everything you can think about. No, let me rephrase that. Your dreams. And once you have all your dream listed, then start prioritizing those dreams, the one that really matters to you. Because sometimes we dream of things, but it doesn't really matter. But there's other things that really does matter. And once you identify those, then you're breaking down into into goals. And then you take these goals and you break them down into tasks. And then these tasks are broken down into steps. This is how you achieve. So it's very important that you define a clear objective. Clarity is everything. When things are clear, people move. When things are not clear, a confused mind stands still. They will not move. So it's very important that you have clarity as to what you want, right? So understand the overall goals and the strategies that you need to apply to get there. And we talked about, and this it was on the first week, on ensuring your goals are smart. What we mean by smart, we mean specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, time bound. Because if you don't put a time to your goals, you're not going to achieve them because there's no limit, there's no accountability. So this is very, very important. That's what we mean by smart goals. So we can teach you all of these strategies, but if you don't have direction, it's like you wake up in the morning, you take your shower, men, you shave, women, maybe you put makeup, whatever the situation may be. And then you get all nice and ready to go. You get into your car. Now what? What do you do? Well, you didn't just do all of that just for the sake of doing it. You did that because you have to go to work. So what I'm trying to tell you is there's a purpose as to why you woke up and you fixed yourself up and you got into your car. Well, this business is the same. Well, why are you doing all of this? Just to pay your debts? Folks, nobody's motivated by paying debts. I'm not motivated to pay my taxes. Trust me. It is part of the game, it is part of the game, but it's not what I'm interested in, or paying my debts, or what were my liabilities. What I want to focus on is, what do I want? Well, I want to live in this beautiful place. I want to be able to do these things. I want to be able to go on a boat cruise for 2 weeks without having any issues whatsoever. I'd like to live in the US and not do winters anymore. Or when I mean the US, where it's more like in Florida. I'm using an example of Tammy and I in the past, and today the past is the present. But again, these started with dreams. And from that point on, there were goals and there were steps, and we achieved those. Now it's just evolving from there. Our goals are evolving. So you need to identify the key actions. As I said earlier, break them down into smaller steps. If you look at God Backup, your goal could be, well, I want to be a goal. Okay. Well, what are the steps to become a goal? What do you need to do? Well, there's plenty of trainings that are available. In fact, let me just share my screen for a moment. And I'm just going to go right here. Okay. And let me go back to the back office here under digital tools. And let's go under extra promo tools. Okay. So I'm giving you here some of the tasks, the steps that you need to do. So right now, let's say, okay, let's go in English. I need to understand this compensation plan. I really need to understand this. So what are the steps? What do I need to become a goal? Okay, well, here it is. Let's see here. Let's keep going down. Okay, to become a goal, I need to have 5 personally enrolled associate. I need to have two on the left, two on the right. I need to make one copper and 3 separate line. I need to have a total of 25 people on my team. That's okay. So what's going on here is it's important that you know where the tools are. I need to understand the comp plan a little bit better. Okay. Well, here, line of enrollment. What is a line of enrollment? Well, Eve did a great job explaining all of this. What about the compensation plan? Well, Eve will talk about the compensation plan. It's a little video. You can follow it here with the actual PDF document, right? This is the actual presentation that we use on a regular basis. These are the videos that we use to share the credibility throughout our presentation. So you guys understand what I'm saying. So back to the topic of the steps. So are you aware of the tools that are available there for you to continue and breaking down the manageable tasks for you to understand what you need to do? Are you prioritizing your tasks? Prospecting, telling people about God Backup, sharing your link as you go out, even having a great T-shirt. Tammy and I had some wonderful T-shirt that was actually created to promote the God Backup. Where in the back it talks about 6 terabytes for the price of 2, and God Backup in the front. And again, folks, it's just little things, but the point is it attracts attention. Do steps and activities towards your goals, and these are steps and tasks. That's what I'm talking about. And prioritize the things that you do towards that goal. And also, one thing that's important as your team starts growing, you also want to assign responsibilities. Instead of you always being the gopher, go for this and go for that and do everything, that's exhausting. Start dividing the task among the team and have the team participating to help you deliver the message, train people, create events, so it's not always on your lap to deal with all of this. This is exhausting. But if you're leveraged from the team because everybody benefits from this, this becomes a much more bearable and nice business to run. Would you agree, Tammy?
Yeah, I think of when you're talking about that Brandon Burchard, people support what they create. And it's so true. When you pull everybody together, I mean, you should know your people's strengths and their weaknesses, and everybody has something to contribute to an event, to helping the teams grow, helping somebody with a specific task that they're stuck at, getting things set up or whatever, and we just leverage each other to help the betterment of growth in the organization. So get to know the value of the people in your team. Don't see what they don't bring to the table. Focus on what they bring to the table. And you got to pull people together. I mean, if you're global business, then obviously it's on Zoom. It's creating those team gatherings and working your game plan. At the end of the month, everybody's pushing the end of the month, and you got to work your game plan for the following month on who's going to be where in the ranks, and just focus on elevating people and getting them to the next level. And of course, always connecting with new people. Every time you're out and about, it's an opportunity. Every time I'm out and about, I used to be an introvert, believe it or not, but every time I'm out and about now, I don't think of myself or my feelings. I think of impacting somebody else's, because you never know where people are at in their lives, in their suffering, right? A lot of people are challenged today financially. What if you could have a conversation with somebody and change their life? It becomes very emotional because we've done it so many times in so many developing countries that it's such a reward to elevate people, help people develop skills, make sure they have the resources, make sure they have the understanding of the fundamentals. The fundamentals is what's going to duplicate. And if you duplicate the 4 benchmarks, if you do it yourself, you can duplicate it. So do it, get to gold, and help your team members get to gold. How do you do that? Benchmark number one left, one right. Doesn't matter which way, one right, one left, doesn't matter. Second benchmark, go and do that again. And if everybody's doing that, everybody's evolving, everybody's excited, there's nothing greater than momentum. And we're just at the beginning. Our phones are actually a lot busier than they used to, but we still, Friday night, everybody knows Chris and Tammy, Friday night, 5 p.m. Eastern time, our phones are off because we need to build a strong connection in our relationship outside of business, just having fun. Like last night, we actually hung out last night with our GBU family that were in the area that could come out. We went and watched a great band at this restaurant, and we were singing all night and dancing. And culture, it doesn't always have to be about business. It's the culture that you create with your local market too. So there's many things that you do, and also recognition. Okay, ranks is great, income's great, but you know what's even better is when your sponsor recognizes you on your levels. And that is really, really, really important, especially at the lower levels when people are just getting started. It's that recognition. And we're seeing all the flyers being created. If you don't know how to create one, talk to your sponsor and get them to show you how. If they don't know, find out who above can you show you. Actually, it's very easy, you guys. You go in your back office on the left bar. When you click on My Business, it opens up a series of items, and you have recognition. So anybody you sign somebody up, you click on that welcome, you're going to see the people that you signed up that you could recognize. Make sure everybody, and I'm finding this right now, make sure everybody gets their picture set up on the top right corner on that little tiny arrow going down in their accounts. Get them to upload their picture. So it makes it easier. You don't have to chase people for photos, because I've actually recently having to do that with people who are not very computer savvy, and you get where you have to ask them to bring you a photo so you can do the recognition. But teach people all the fundamentals in building this business. If people know how to do the things, they'll do them. But if they don't know, they won't do them.
So this is the example that Tammy talked about. See, I went to my back office. I just selected my account, my profile. Okay. And then from there, you can actually browse your computer and upload a picture. It's as simple as that. So you click browse, and then you would select whatever file it is relevant that you want to upload. And then you just upload the picture, and this is it. It will appear there. And that's very important, because when your upline or your leadership are trying to recognize you by going through the rank up, sorry, rank up, rank. Okay, when you click on that, what's important, and I just want to show you why it's very, very relevant, because what happens is that people have no pictures. There's no pictures. Okay, you can see here, Prof Max, which is Solomon, just went gold, right? And he was promoted everywhere, and his picture's right there. So if I create this, say congratulation, obviously I'm not going to do this because his upline took care of it. I'm just showing you as an example. Then the picture is there. So I'm able to download this template, and then I'm able to post it wherever I choose to see it, to post it. So this is why it's important that you go through these milestone actions for you to be able to to kind of be part, to be active, to do an active part in building your business and leading by example. And I think I saw a comment earlier. People crave, yes, Bruce, that's correct. People crave recognition, and often you hear Tammy talk about babies cry for it. We know that, but adults will die for the recognition. Recognition is important. It's not just about striking egos, it's about recognizing efforts that people have done. And sometimes maybe that's the only thing that they're being recognized on, because the work environment, the workforce might be a negative environment. You know what I'm talking about. And you get into this wonderful environment and people recognize you for your achievement. And that's fuel. And not only that, but that also can be used to build credibility within your downline, saying that you also are achieving. If you recall the leadership training we talked about, leadership 3 is people follow you because of what you achieved. That's part of that. So when you get recognized by others for something that you've done, that is leverage for you. This is all part of building an empire and our ecosystem of network marketing. It's not just about sponsoring people and looking for network marketers. That's not the way this works. It's by sponsoring average, everyday folks that will become above average by recognizing the potential they have and the voice that they have that maybe has never been heard. This is what network marketing has done for me. That's what it's done for Tammy and many of us. Just average folks working in normal cubicles and normal job. And network marketing completely transformed my belief into how I perceive and how I see myself. It's so much bigger than just a network marketing deal, folks. And God Backup is a vehicle that can really take you through to wonderful levels. So this is all part of the action and planning. Now, the
Chris,
last point we want.
Randy's comment there.
Which one?
Teach all your teammates and you to fill out the
I did that already.
reaching gold, and
I did
that
that.
is
In fact, I mean, as you
available.
were talking, I was showing everybody that, but I can redo it just because. Let's see if I can get back to it. Okay, I need to find this.
10:31 a.m. This is really important, that tracking sheet, and make sure that your team members are on track with their tracking sheet. This is a perfect example of,
Yes,
okay, at the beginning of the month, you got to know your numbers. If you don't know, you don't know what to aim for. And if you don't do this, how the heck can you teach anybody else how to do this? That's reality, right? So do it yourself and help your team members along the way to do it as well. And yeah,
totally,
I
totally,
love
totally
these
agree.
tracking sheets. Yeah,
Totally
they're
agree. And
fantastic.
and and earlier, as Tammy was sharing, I mean, you can go back to the recording. I was
Yeah,
showing you on the board, which also I put the board link for you to access the board if you don't have it, so you can access these things. That's why we created the board, is to so you can find the tools easily without having to search for them. It's all there. It's a one-stop shop.
yeah. There's both
And
tracking sheets: the
yes,
example tracking sheet and the tracking sheet that you would use yourself. Yes.
correct, exactly. Which again, you can go back to the recording and it's all there. You'll see that I'm pointing out where you can access it. So
And
the
you can
last
do
point,
team trainings, you guys. I'm always thinking of creativity. You can do team training at the very beginning of the month. You can make it about celebration because it's a new plan. So we celebrate the people and then do a team training with your tracking sheet and have everybody show up with their numbers, knowing their numbers. They don't have to share their numbers if they don't want to, but at least they need to know where they're at, where they stand right now, and what is the big goal at the end of July? What is the big goal at the end of August? And that's how teams go into momentum, knowing where you're going, tracking it, knowing what your next step is, and take the actions on it. And then it's plan, do, review all the time. You know, Chris and I, every Sunday, Chris and I go out for breakfast and we sit down and we discuss our week and how our week went and how we can improve ourselves and how we can help other people get to the levels that they need to get to, especially the new people. It's always about the new people, helping the new people get to the next level. Because sometimes people come into this business, honestly, they come into this business and they don't help a soul. You're always going to have people in the organization that don't have that support. That's why we really encourage people to bring people into the culture so that they learn these Saturday trainings, your team trainings, People have sponsors that come in and they're gone and they don't want to leave, but they don't know what to do because they haven't been plugged in. They were never taught anything. So let's create that culture of bringing people in to something that can help them learn skills and grow. Send this recording to the team members. Any of your team recordings, send them out. Don't assume people are going to go look for things because people are busy. So always engage into your platforms with your teams.
So last thing that we want to cover right now, and as we get there, I just want to go back to the reference to the back office again. You see, the links are here. The Telegram group, you can connect here. The Facebook group, you can connect here. Why this is so important? Because as your team members start reaching levels, you obviously have your own respective groups. But these groups are global, worldwide. And there's people from many languages that are in there, in Spanish and Russian and French and Italian, and they have their own respective communities. But what happens here is when one of your team reaches a certain level and you promote it in there, then it goes beyond your ecosystem. Now you're sharing this with the world. And what Joel has suggested last time when we did the interview, he's going to be adding the board down below the Facebook group or maybe above where it says above Telegram group, whatever you choose to put it. So then you can have access to all the materials that we have to help you grow your business. Everything we do is always generic, right? There's no little things here that points to anybody's specific things. It is generic information to build your business. We want to help you grow your God backup community. That's what it's all about. And as much tools as you have available, the better you are prepared in line to what we just talked about here in strategic planning. Now, the last point we want to cover here is monitoring and adjusting. Really important. You know, the key performance indicator, we call it the KPI. It's important to understand the key performance, the things that are happening in your business that are creating growth, that are creating momentum, that are driving activities, and be mindful of that. Very important. And the thing is that as you are implementing some, maybe you have a wonderful idea, maybe you have a promotions, you know, as people start making wonderful income with God Backup, I assure you, what you're going to start seeing is people are going to start doing incentives. In the past, what I did when Tammy and I built our business, what we did is we had, hey, the first 10 people to reach that level will get an iPad. I know that's a lot, but the
That was
income was,
launching a country, Chris.
yeah,
Yes.
we were launching a country and there was nobody doing anything and it exploded. I thought it would take me 2 years to get this done. It was done in 3 months. Next thing you know is when you reach a certain level, I say, hey, we'll give you an iPad. We bought 10 iPad. I had to come in. And in fact, the country, they were wonderful because they know we were giving gifts to the people and they kind of passed through customs and we bypassed it so we can have these machines that we can give to the people. But they earned it. They deserved it. And the team started duplicating that. Why? Because people were making money. So as you make money, you want to take a portion of these profits and invest it back into your team. Right now, everybody's starting from scratch, right? Everybody's starting, everybody's growing. But I'm telling you, once the money's in the bank and things starting to grow, you will see some massive momentum when things like this happens. And Tammy and I are known for doing that. And trust me, it's going to happen. You're going to see events, recognition. So these are things that you want to be creative and constantly adjust what you do. You want to strategize what you do, right? And you also, it has to be duplicatable. If we turn around and we do all these promotion because we got money, but the team has no money, they can't do what we do. You're not duplicating. They can't do what you just did. So it's important that everything you do can be duplicated. That's how you grow an organization to over 623,000 members in your team.
It
It's
always starts small. Yeah, the
it's
small
stressing
little
around you that you
recognition
start small and you grow
leads to
from
the
there.
big things. Yeah.
That's very, very important. And important, it's also that you stay flexible and adaptable. So you want to understand that sometimes there are changes. Why there are changes? Because the economy is changing faster than we ever went through before. So we need to make some adjustments. And what I love about the God Backup plan, and you'll notice when you look at the PDF that there are percentage that are assigned to every different groups of bonuses that are there. So people are saying, well, how can God Backup afford paying all these people? Because it's all relative. God Backup will always pay 75% from their profit revenue based on what came in. So if they make, let's say, for the sake of discussion, they made 100 million, that you understand that 75 million is going to be paid in commission. That means there's a lot of people earning. But if it made 100,000, it's all relative. It's 75,000. Obviously, it's more than that, but you know what I'm talking about. So it's all relative. So everything is done and it's designed to grow with us. It's a flexible and adaptable plan. It's brilliant. And it decides to pay the people that contribute to the growth of this company, the growth of their organization, which in turn, the more you contribute, the more you will earn. And that's what the plan is. This is absolutely amazing. So again, KPI, what are the key performance indicator, the things that you see in your organization that are triggering growth? Make adjustments. You plan, you do, and then you review all the time. Plan, do, review, plan, do, review, plan, do, review, plan, do, review. And this never changes. It just evolves and grow over time. And be flexible. If things don't go exactly the way you plan, don't get upset and saying, well, the company didn't do this, I'm moving on. That is not the right way. Become part of the solution instead of becoming part of the problem. That's how you grow an organization. That's how you will become very, very successful in this business. So, Tammy, I'm going to turn this over to you as we end the call. Please go ahead.
Yeah. So again, pick what you desire to achieve, the big one, the big goal, and put that where you can see it, because that's what's going to inspire you to do the work. Because let's face it, it's summer. Congratulations for being here. For us, it's summer, anyways. And most people are out and about on this beautiful sunny day. We're literally on the water. We could be, kayaking or biking or going out for a meal. We're here working together, and that's what leaders do. They show up. You guys are all, ladies are all leaders. You showed up. You showed up to learn so that you can grow, so that you can develop the skills and the fundamentals on how to build this business. So kudos to you for showing up. So now you know how many team members would you have liked to been on today's session? How many? Put it in the chat. How many team members that you have in your organization that you would have loved to got them on this session, because they would have, something would have triggered for them to want to grow? How many people? I know that we've got a lag in the chats and the comments, but those are the people that you need to send these videos to. And that's what our leaders did with us too. There were so many people. I remember when we were new and there were so many people, I'm going, oh my gosh, I know they're having this and they're going out to do this and they're traveling, and which is great. It's nice to have some vacations. But how many people missed such an impactful session that I need to make sure that I get this information to them. And then I follow up with them and I ask them what they like the best about it. Accountability, right? You got to have accountability with your team members. You got to give them steps. And when they do this step, give them another step. And that's the 4 benchmarks, another step and another step and another step. And that's how they grow and evolve.
Yeah, I agree with Tammy 100%. And folks, sometimes this training is extremely important. This is the kind of training that produces 6-figure incomes, 6-figure monthly. I'm not kidding. We've done this for a long time. And I know that for some of you may not realize it, but if you apply the principles that we talked about here, I'm telling you, you might be very surprised on the outcome. You just have to stay the course and keep moving forward. And unfortunately, not everybody is here to see this. But the one thing that I do recognize is a lot of people will come after the facts. And I noticed that a training that we do sometime will be seen 700 times, 600 times, 800 times. And I'm grateful for that because we know we're making a bigger impact. If we shared anything here that you feel is relevant to you, just go and hit that like button. Why? Because the YouTube algorithm will show it to more people. And I'm telling you that God Backup as a solution that can really help your community wherever you live in the world. I am not kidding. Take advantage of this. Don't fall asleep at the wheel. This is a big deal. Because it's $10 a month, it's very misleading. What am I going to do with $10 a month? A coffee, what you need to understand, again, go back to when Dropbox started, right? $10 a month. Netflix started at $7 a month. I know that they've increased because there are all these things, but just think about it. You look at Amazon Prime, $9.95 a month. And these are some of the most powerful companies in the world. Notice that now Apple is obviously starting their cloud service several years back. Started with $2, $12, right? Do you understand what I'm saying? This is the way to go. Because of today's economy, this price point is so attractive, and it's a service, as often we talk about data as the new oil. Well, it's a service that people need. Their stuff has to be stored somewhere. And I'm telling you that future devices will not have a lot of space. In fact, it's already starting. In fact, you'll notice that phones have evolved, but the amount of memory is increasing, but not that much. If you're willing to pay an arm and a leg to have 2 terabytes or whatever, I don't think cell phones have that much because they want to sell the repeated business. And that's exactly what God Backup offers. But the difference, we offer an income opportunity while we're using a service that everyone needs with a product that everyone can afford. You guys understand where we're going with this? This is going to be absolutely huge. We hope you picked up on that. So we want to remind you that every Wednesdays, Joel is doing a great presentation, sharing the story, sharing all the assets and the opportunity and the product itself. Every Friday, 11 o'clock Eastern time, Tammy and I do a presentation. I know that on Thursday, there's an Italian presentation. I was honored to be invited by Sylvia to present. I know Dr. Keowe does one. I think it's either on Sunday or Monday. Sorry, Dr. Keowe. There's so many events going on. I lose track. But my point is, I know many of you, I know Noel does one too, right? So the fact is, make sure that you're plugged into your leadership ecosystem and find out where the presentation are and point the finger so people can tell, you can tell people where to go to look at information. And if they can't show up at that time, they are recorded. Just share the link with them for them to evolve.
And I think, Chris, everybody should be on Wednesday night with Joel because there's always something that we learn. The company's evolving so fast. And if the time doesn't work for you, get the recording because I leverage Joel's presentations as well. And there's nothing better than the CEO, the vision of this company to be sharing with other people as well.
Yeah. And Donna, I completely understand. And I keep thinking about, because we have many teams and the Spanish community is the second language, most spoken language in the world after English. And then we have French. And so I'm aware of all of these. And then we have Russian and we have so many languages to cover. And this is something that we are working towards. I'm not kidding. I know the subtitling is not always all that user friendly, but I know YouTube has the capability to offer this. So we are evolving, just like God Backup is evolving. The compensation plan has evolved. We're evolving, and I assure that we do not want to exclude anybody at all. You have no idea. It's just that we need to figure things out. And as the AI technology increases, there is a positive side to the AI side of things, and that's what it is that it's able to convert things very quickly, very fast, because it's working at the computer speed, which it can do quite a bit and almost for us in real time. So listen, folks, I'm glad that you guys were able to attend. Again, let's push for the Wednesday evening presentation. This is important. You know why? Because it shares to the entire world the growth that's taking place. And many of you may feel that, It's the same. It's not just that. It's when you show up, the numbers increases. Wouldn't that be awesome? There is 1,000 people, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 viewers watching a presentation. Is not wouldn't that be send a strong message, folks? So let's push towards really making sure that the Wednesday presentations are packed and full. I know the summer months is always a bit of a slower month, but those of you that are working towards the summer, and you don't have to go crazy, right? You can take your vacation and so forth, but you don't just kind of give up and completely fall asleep. You just continue moving along. You'll find that when it comes to September, October, November, you're going to be in momentum. So have yourself a wonderful rest of your weekend, and we look forward to see you on Wednesday evening. And as you know, Tammy and I also do a presentation on Friday. On Saturday, next Saturday, we're going to be talking about personal growth and the aspect to grow. And again, this is going to be the very important training that's going to envelope the other 3 segments that we did. So have yourself a wonderful rest of your weekend, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye for now, everyone.